Clear quartz is your master healer. I'm talking pain relief, breathing, vision, your hearing and inner ear issues, even the balance that comes with that, tinnitus, general heart health, diabetes. Clear quartz can filter negative energy from others.
Hey, and welcome back to another brilliant episode of the Sharice Williams Show. I am so excited. So welcome to the Sharice Williams Show, the podcast exclusively designed for nurses looking to create, launch, and scale their own online holistic health coaching businesses with ease. I am so excited. I'm Sharice Williams, your host for today. And guess what? I have the most incredible guest to share with you today. Actually, one of my clients. And so let me share with you a little bit about her before I bring her on. Today, by the way, we're talking about the healing benefits of crystals. And so our beautiful guest today has 16 years experience as a registered nurse with a master's degree in nursing informatics and is triple board certified. As a certified Reiki practitioner and meditation coach, she has used these modalities to support women facing menstrual and fertility challenges, as well as individuals seeking relief from the ill effects of stress and chronic conditions. Through her channeling chi practice, she helps individuals, groups, and families achieve optimal health and wellness using the healing power of holistic therapies. Please help me welcome the founder of Channeling Chi Health and Wellness, holistic nurse coach, Tiffany Davis.
Hi. Hello,
hey,
everyone. Hi.
How are you, my dear?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fabulous. Thanks so much. And so I shared a little bit about, your formally your bio, but tell us a little bit more about you. Who is Tiffany?
So Tiffany is just a woman who is really just leaning into growth and purpose. I dealt with COVID in 2020, had a long recovery, and started using even more holistic therapies to heal myself. Mm-hmm. And so it was only up from that. So that's what I dove into. I found my purpose. And so now I'm just trying to spread that to other people through my business.
Oh, how beautiful. I love that so much. And I know so many people can relate, present company included, with having, getting COVID and having a long recovery period. Mm-hmm. And so, and thank goodness for holistic modalities. And yes, I know you and I have both had this conversation, offline. Yes, we went the traditional route in terms of healing modalities, but man, the holistic healing modalities that we utilize, from meditation and visualization and crystals and essential oils and breath work and all the things. I mean,
all those things.
Right. And had it not been for that, I mean, oh, exactly. We both took a deep breath. Exactly.
Yeah.
So grateful. So grateful for all of those alternative healing modalities. I wanted to ask you, so share with us a little bit, because I know there's some women listening and they're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want to do. And so, but there's sometimes, I'm not going to say always, oftentimes there's that, okay, I know I need to do so. I know that's what I want to do. I don't know how. I don't know how to bring, I don't know how to package all this up and bring it to the market. And so share with our audience where you were mentally, physically, where you were in business prior to us working together.
So like you said, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew the what. I could see, 2, 5, 10 years down the road, what I wanted. It was the execution and, it was the execution, finding the right resources. And that's really what it was. And now I realized it was mindset.
Yeah.
So I started working with you, law of attraction, and, all of the mindset things that we forget about. We get so bogged down with the how. And yes, you do need to have a plan and you need to know how, but first you have to master your mindset. Number one, to realize and actually feel it, that it's possible. It is possible, no matter how big you think or if you think it's too big or whatever, it's possible. As long as you as long as you get the right mindset and set your intention, it is possible. So that's one of the things. And I think that's one of the hardest parts is that mindset part.
It's a big piece, it's a big piece that's oftentimes overlooked. And I say this regularly. Most business coaches will teach you from a physical plane. It's the do, it's the how, right? And strategy is important. I'm not underestimating the power of strategy, because you absolutely must have a strategy.
Right.
And what's equally important, and actually I think even more important to your point, is the other pieces, right? And so, like I mentioned, most coaches will teach you just from a physical plane, but it's important that we operate on a physical, mental, and emotional plane.
Absolutely.
And the mindset, because we know our mind can be our best friend or our worst enemy. It is so true. And it's all that stuff that lies in our subconscious that prevents us from moving forward. Who am I to think I can do this? Can I really do this? Who am I to charge for this? Who am I to charge X amount for? Right?
Yes. That's a huge part of it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And if we have all of these things kind of entrenched in our subconscious, and we wonder why, we take one step, well, sometimes can't even take a step forward, but if we do take a step forward, it's like one step forward, 2 steps back, because that old programming that lies in our subconscious kind of like, girl, where are you going? Come on back.
Right. And a lot of times you don't even know that that's your mindset. And it happens because of things from the past that you wouldn't even think about. So it's bringing awareness to it, which is really what you got me to do. And I really want to stress the fact that, yes, I have a certain mindset now, but that doesn't mean that I don't backslide. It doesn't mean that I don't have doubts or anything, but now I have the tools and I have the confidence to be able to say, no, you can do this, and bring myself back to a place of balance and grounding.
Yeah, so important. And you're right. It is not a one and done. I wish it were a one and done. It is not a one and done. Anyone who tells you it's a one and done, you need to run really fast away from them. It's a practice. And here's the thing. We get to practice a new way of being until it becomes embodied, until it just becomes our natural way, our default, right? Oftentimes when we're doing something new, stepping out of our comfort zone, and we're trying to adopt a new mindset, and we're trying to implement a new strategy, and what happens is we can sometimes get a false sense of security and not, you mentioned awareness, not really have that heightened awareness. And then we find ourselves right back. You're like, wait a minute, I was doing good. What happened? And giving yourself grace to allow for that expansion and allowing for that integration into that new version of you. And it's part of the process. It's absolutely part of the process. And then after a while, that just becomes your default, because now you have embodied that way of being. And you're like, oh, okay. But it takes a minute. It's not overnight.
No,
it's not overnight.
It's not.
So share with us, what has been maybe one of the biggest takeaways? I know you share mindset. Which is, again, I cannot overemphasize that, because that'll either make you or break you. One other big piece that you have gotten from our working together thus far?
I think one of the biggest things, and this was actually one of your podcast topics, was in nursing, we're really taught, certification for this, certification for that, certification for this, in order to be taken seriously, or you need to obtain your certification in order to let people know you're serious about X, Y, and Z. And I want to do so many things. And I think the main thing that I learned was I don't always need, quote unquote, a professional certification. Number one. Number two, a lot of my clients don't care. They want results.
They want results.
They want results, which I can give. And number three is I don't have to have it all figured out. I don't have to have it all figured out.
And I love that you said that, because the reality of it is we never have it all figured out, ever. ever. I don't care where you are in business, whether you are in the process of creating your first 6 figures, whether you are in the process of creating your next 6 figures, or even, your 7 figures. We never have it all figured out. And to be okay with that. And let's just be clear, Tiffany. I mean, you have tons of certifications. You have tons of experience, tons of knowledge. And you know so much, like so many of our listeners, we know so much. We are freaking brilliant.
Right.
And it's a matter of, packaging that brilliance into a program, into something that's actually, again, because I know you have Reiki and you have, all your other certifications, and then your love for crystals and this and the meditation and all of that. But packaging that up, and that was actually, you came to me with it packaged, but not optimized, I would say.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So how are you feeling now about the optimization and somewhat restructuring of your package, your offering?
I feel really comfortable about it. I'm still some of the mindset or charging what I'm worth or like putting it out there. That's where I am right now. So I know it's possible. It's just getting past that. I guess, who am I to do this or charge it? So just reminding myself of that.
Yeah. And we'll continue to work through that. Like I said, it's not a one and done. It's definitely not a one and done. But I'm super proud of you for where you've allowed yourself to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And this is still the beginning of it all. Yes. So super exciting. So share with us a little bit about, I know you have this immense love for crystals. And I think you are going to share with us 4 different crystals. Yes. Yeah. So take it away. Share with us. Educate, share, do your thing.
Okay. Well, all right, everyone. So I have, I'm going to just briefly go over 4 crystals that I think combined address, like as Cherie said, the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being that we all need to try to work on and have optimal results in. And so the first one is hematite.
I'm like, hematite. Y'all can't see. Those of you who are listening to the podcast, I'm like dancing in my chair. I'm like, hematite. Okay, go for it.
Okay, so hematite is grounding and balancing. It's really good for connecting you back to your physical body. So if you just feel out of sorts, if you had like a long weekend or a long shift, even if you're still doing shift, or hematite is really good to help you just come back and balance you, come back into your physical body. It also reminds you to take care of yourself. So your physical needs, your most basic needs like food and water and rest. It also is a reminder to do those things, because we all know, self-care is one of those words that has become really popular, but you really need to make sure that it's not just a trend, that it becomes a part of your routine, a part of your life, and you're actually getting your needs met. So hematite is really good for that. Surprisingly, they're good for cramps, backaches. If you have any air travel or air sickness, jet lag, really good for that as well. Hematite cools the body temperature. So when you have fever, sunburn, things like that, hematite is really helpful with that. It helps bring love. It can attract love. It's good for stress and memory and some of your thoughts. So when some of my thoughts start to go to the left, I get some hematite and just kind of either sit with it or I wear it.
Oh, I love that necklace. Okay. So you have a crystal necklace.
So this is beautiful. Hematite.
And for those who are listening and not seeing, what color is hematite?
Hematite is like a dark gray color. You can get it raw or tumbled. It just depends on your preference. I have a combination of both. I don't really prefer one over the other. When I'm working with people, I like the tumble just because it's easier to place on the body. You don't have to worry about the points. But that's what I was going to ask.
Because you mentioned so many beautiful ways, so many beautiful things that it can help with, from cramps to cooling your body to air sickness, jet
like air
lag.
travel,
So,
jet lag.
yeah. So how do you use them? Where would you use them? Where would you put them? I know you're wearing a necklace right now.
So I recommend wearing bracelets, necklace, a sachet. So you can even in your pocket. I have this in my purse. So when I'm going somewhere, I put it in my purse. If I don't have a purse or anything like that, in my pocket, just somewhere on your person, close to you. You ankle, like an anklet.
Ankle brace. Oh, okay, great. And I know, and I know that you are a Reiki, that you're Reiki certified. So when you are doing Reiki on your clients, do you put that on a particular chakra, or do you just put it around?
I'll usually put it around when I do my general chakra cleansing and healing. I do have some basic stones that I use for that. But we also talk about what's going on in your life. What are you feeling? And so based on what my clients tell me, I incorporate those crystals to go along with it. So it may be the basic 7 that I use, and then it may be like 3 more to address whatever my client feels they need in the moment. Or if I'm doing Reiki and I'm feeling something, I may take a crystal and then add it in. Multiple chakra points. I may do 2 or 3 crystals, like on the heart chakra or the root or something like that. So it just depends on what each client needs, because each client is personalized and specific to that person.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing you say. Really, is you're listening to their body, you're allowing your intuition, you're listening to your intuition, and utilizing the crystals from that perspective as well. Yeah,
right. Nice. And I know we're speaking to a lot of nurses, and most nurses, a large percentage of nurses, are women. So hematite is really good for blood conditions, so anemia. So especially for us that still menstruate, this is really good when you're menstruating or you're about to, because it helps with anemia. It's hematite. So heme, you have blood. So even blood clots and issues with the spleen, hematite is your stone for that.
Very good. All right. Hematite's on the list. What else you got for us?
All right. So this one, a lot of people don't really know about it, but it's called eudialyte. 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 It's really good for eye conditions, especially the ones caused by stress. So think glaucoma in this regard. It's really good for the heart and circulation as well. And mentally and spiritually, it opens the heart to release past emotions. So you know that in order to make room for things, a lot of times you need to release. It's kind of like you don't get on the elevator until the people come off the elevator. So a lot of times what we need to do is release things in order to absorb all the positive. So eudialyte is really good for that. And it can also ease discomfort that comes with change. One thing that we know, especially in healthcare, change is inevitable. It's going to happen whether you want it or not. But outside of healthcare, life. Exactly. Life sometimes. And so
life.
And so it's really good for even if you're in a period of transition and like it's chosen. So you're like going for a new job, or you just have a transition in your life that you're going through. Eudialyte is good for that.
Nice. So transitioning from bedside to entrepreneurship.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. That's a huge transition.
So is there any particular place that you would put that, or would you just have it around, or what's your recommendation there?
For eudialyte, I would as close to the heart as possible. So necklace, for women, again, inside your bra. If you're wearing a bra, if you can tuck it so that it's not seen. Some people don't care. Yeah. I've had clients that are like, well, if that's where it needs to go, that's where it needs to go. And I don't care. So, and that's fine. I encourage people to do what's comfortable for them, but it's really good close to the heart.
Love that. That's great. Okay. All right. What else you got for us?
All right. So a lot of people know the pretty purple is amethyst.
Oh, I love amethyst.
Amethyst is one of my favorites. It's very versatile.
I have amethyst somewhere around. I was turning around looking for it.
I have one over there. It's very, very versatile. So amethyst boosts physical energy and even the immune system. And so we know, yes, there it is,
There it
the
is.
beautiful
I found
purple.
it.
Yes, amethyst.
So boost immune system. I heard that.
Yes, immune system. Very good for the immune system and your physical energy. Also good for the heart and circulation, your lymphatic system, and detoxing. So if you're trying to detox, add in some amethyst to just further help with that. And I want to take a minute to pause just to say crystals are incredibly powerful on their own. But I do feel like we have a responsibility as the users of crystals to do our part. So if you want to improve your physical energy, for instance, yes, you can carry the amethyst stone, but it is also going to take some commitment. Are you moving? Are you, whether it's just yoga or walking, just movement, dance, are you doing your part to further improve or increase the healing properties of the stones? So I did want to make sure that I just put it out there, because some people are like, okay, well, I'm wearing the crystals and nothing's happening. Like, what, know, and yes, they are powerful, but it takes some responsibility and accountability on our part to do our fair share. But it's also great for stress and stress related conditions. So think IBS and migraines. So if you're going to do something that causes you stress, meeting with family, driving in traffic, public speaking, amethyst is a really good calming stone for that. So any of those situations where you think you might be amped up or might bring on your anxiety, amethyst is really good. Oh, and I have here. So that's amethyst. Yeah,
I love that. Amethyst. Beautiful ring.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love that.
And so amethyst, since it is calming, it's also recommended for insomnia because it helps induce a restful night's sleep. So you can put it under your pillow. You can put it inside your pillow, like the pillowcase, the part that's down closest to the bed. You can put it inside on a bedside table. That's really good at night to help with sleep.
I love that you mentioned that. And so, because, when I look at, where'd it go? Here it is. When I look at the purple color, again, I guess I associate it with lavender. And so you mentioned that it's great for sleep or insomnia. And it just made me think, you can use this in combination with your lavender essential oil, diffuse it next to your bedside. I like to put a drop of lavender on my hand and then just kind of rub it on my pillow. Talk about some good sleep.
I make my own little lavender, like DIY, like lavender pillow spray. I just spray it on my pillow. And I do aromatherapy with my clients as well. And lavender is the go-to, especially for sleep and calm. So
and because we know that, our body, and it's one of those things that is overlooked, but it's one of those fundamental pillars of health and healing is sleep. So if we're not getting enough quality and quantity of sleep, and yet we're doing all these other things, it's like, let's remember the basics. Our body does most of its heavy lifting, restoring, renewing, regenerating, all those great, beautiful healing. I mean, of course, our body's healing all the time, but that deep healing when we're sleeping. And if we're not ourselves getting enough quantity and quality of sleep, and our clients or those of you who are still working at the bedside, your patients aren't getting enough quality or quantity of sleep, then that's going to impede their healing journey. So I love that. So amethyst and lavender. Yes. Love it.
Yes. They can, like eudialyte, they can boost your emotions and help you deal with what life throws at you. So those expected or unexpected changes or transitions, amethyst is good for that as well. I am a fan of combining crystals. So if you have eudialyte and amethyst, you can combine those for a dynamic duo, as I like to call it. So and you can combine crystals as well. I've seen amethyst used for anger and violent tendencies. So people who are really angry and have violent tendencies, as well as addiction medicine. I've seen it used with addiction treatment as well.
Yeah. And as you're saying that, anger is an emotion that's stored in the liver, right? And so one of the things that, well, there's so many things we could talk about in terms of anger and liver,
Yes.
but even castor oil packs, even doing castor oil packs over your liver. Aren't they great? I know. Aren't they great? So beautiful. So yeah. And so love that. Okay. All right.
All right. And so the last one that I have, last but not least, is clear quartz.
Oh,
this is the master healer.
Yeah.
Okay. Clear quartz is your master healer. I'm talking pain relief, breathing, vision, your hearing and inner ear issues, even the balance that comes with that, tinnitus, general heart health, diabetes. Clear quartz can filter negative energy from others. So if you know you're in a workplace that is less than favorable to toxic, wherever it is on the spectrum, clear quartz can help absorb some of that negative energy. Clear quartz is good for promoting self-healing at all levels. So physical, emotional, and mental as well.
Love that.
It can re-energize you, and it enhances the heart chakra and the brow chakra. So when you are working with crystals, it's really important to set your intention for it. So that would basically just be like, you take the crystal, you can use a particular crystal. You can use it when you meditate. You can use it when you pray, whether it's doing mantras or affirmations. Just hold it in your hand. And before you start, just set your intention for it. Just set your intention. And clear quartz, like I said, is the master healer. So if you don't have a particular stone, you can sub your clear quartz for it, but just set the intention for it. It's almost everything is about intention.
Yeah, for sure. This is so good. And so for those that are listening, they're like, and I wasn't going to go there, but just for those who are listening and you're like, what? This is weird. There's so much science. There's so much science that supports crystals, the healing benefits of crystals, because I know our world, right, is very evidence-based. Right. Yeah. There's so, and here's the thing, at the end of the day, what we also, I think sometimes forget is that everything is energy. Everything is energy. And emotions. So we talked a lot about emotions today. Emotions vibrate have a different vibrational frequency, right? That is measured in hertz, Hertz, right? And so as Tiffany is sharing the healing benefits of all the different crystals that she shared, as well as the conditions, we have to remember that every single thing, including dis-ease, vibrates at a certain frequency, and bring in, introduce, crystals, and crystals also, even from the hematite to the eudialyte to the amethyst to the clear quartz, they all vibrate at a different frequency as well. And so, again, it's all science. It's all quantum science, quantum physics even. And so I love that you are integrating this into your practice and how you work with clients. I know you mentioned clear quartz as one of those, the master healer, right? If someone's just now listening, they're just now starting their journey, starting to really deepen their understanding of quartz. Would you recommend that be like a starter quartz?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Some people don't necessarily want to or cannot make the investment in, getting, and I say start small, learn a few, really get to know those core crystals, and then start to branch out. Because if you get all of these crystals, you're going to get overwhelmed, especially if you're new to it. So clear quartz is one that I would definitely recommend. Amethyst, all of the ones that I listed here, and the letters of them spell heal. The first letters and then the L from clear quartz spell heal. So you can get those. Definitely, if you want they have little packets that will come with all the chakras. So there'll be a stone for each chakra. You could do that.
Our energy centers. Go ahead.
Right. What I would recommend is that you find someone that you trust to do this, because there are fakes out there. Citrine and amethyst is one thing. A lot of people make citrine from heat treating amethyst. And so it's not real citrine. And so just make sure wherever you get your crystals from, I have a couple places. It doesn't have to be one specific place, but just make sure that it's trusted and you can trust the actual stones that you were getting. And after that, it's fun. After that, it's just all fun.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I know, again, some people are listening and either they are needing a source, a trusted source, to source their crystals, or maybe, like I said, they might be new and they're like, well, where do I even get clear quartz? I want some of these things. And so, maybe we should, I can link it in the bio. I can link it in the show notes if you want to share, where, a trusted resource that you actually get your crystals from.
I'll share one from online. There's one online that I trust, and then I have a couple of stores, like physical stores. So if you have a metaphysical store, META, metaphysical, they're usually really good about keeping stones stocked. Anywhere that's going to sell candles or herbs, like a botanica, maybe a really good spot. I'm just naming those because every city doesn't have them, but those are the keywords that you want to look for. You can Google it, or even go on Instagram and say metaphysical store, whatever your city is.
Okay, and that's great.
Instagram is actually a good way to find things too.
Excellent. And so the last thing I wanted to share, and thank you for that, because like I said, I know that people are like, well, where can I get some? The other thing I was going to ask you is, I guess the word I'm looking for is hygiene. Hygiene in a sense of, when you work. Yeah. So share with us a bit about hygiene as it relates to crystals and clients and all of that.
So when I first, anything new, especially my crystals that come to me, I cleanse them. So it's sage. I use Florida water. If you're not familiar with that, it's just like a cleansing, spiritual water. You can make your own, but you can also get it at the stores that I mentioned. You can get it off Amazon, but there's only a certain brand that I would recommend. But I cleanse using that. You can cleanse in the sun, definitely full moon. I sit my stones out in the full moon to let them charge. But cleansing in between clients, it's definitely always sage, the Florida water. And then after that's dry, then I do Palo Santo to bring in, positive and just to return them back to the original intended state.
Got it. And the Palo Santo. Okay. I forgot I had Palo Santo in there. So very good. So, and that's really important, because we talked about energy, right? We talked about energy. And so cleansing yourself as well as the crystals in between clients, whether you're working virtual or in person. Because I know you do a lot of virtual Reiki. It's still very, very, very important. So love that. God, this has been great. I've learned so much. I took like a lot of notes.
Thank you.
I love crystals. I have several here. I have a rose quartz here.
Yes.
So can you see that?
Very good for love. It's really good for your sacral area. So as women, any women's health issues, no matter where you are on the spectrum, whether you're menopausal, actually in menopause, postmenopausal, rose quartz is really good for anywhere on the spectrum.
Love that. I'm not sure what this one is. This is like a brownish.
It looks like carnelian.
What does it? Say that again.
Carnelian. That's sacral chakra.
They were gifts. And then I have my amethyst, which I love my amethyst. And then I have my
oh
turquoise.
My gosh, your turquoise.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And that you can tell that because of the marbling, but the lines in it, if it does not have lines, beware.
Good to know.
The veins. Yeah, it should have veins. That and howlite is another one.
how
veins,
light?
how light you should see the veins.
Excellent.
So
And
but
these
if
are
you
all
find a
tips.
trusted, if you find somewhere that you trust to be able to get your crystals from, that's really not something that you have to have
Worry
a
about.
concern with. Now, if you're buying online, that's more of
Right.
a concern with online.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this has been so good. So thank you so much for sharing all of this wisdom around the crystals and healing benefits and how we can use them and where we should put them and what they're used for. And any closing words that you would like to share with those listening?
Sure. Just if you have never worked with crystals before, just know that it shouldn't be scary. Don't be scared of them. Don't fear it. Just read up on it. Find someone that you trust to be able to guide you through it. And just be gentle with yourselves. We're all works in progress. So just be gentle with yourself and yeah, just always strive for total well-being, holistic well-being.
Absolutely. Mind, body, soul.
Yes.
Right. I love it. Thank you so much. Now, I know that people are listening like, oh my gosh, how can I follow this lady? How can I get in touch with you? Where do people find you, Tiffany? Where do they find you?
I do have a Facebook page. It's Channeling Chi Health and Wellness. Instagram is channeling_Chi. Chi is QI. Look, y'all, transparency. I'm getting better at social media, but I'm getting better, but that's where you can find me. I'm going to try to start doing more, like just popping on educational things. Cause I love like teaching people about certain things, how to heal themselves. So
yeah, and it's so needed, and you do it so effortlessly, or at least it appears effortless.
Thank you.
So no, I appreciate like your love, your energy, your willingness to share, your heart to share.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
You're welcome. This was awesome. And so, again, thank you guys for tuning in for this episode of the Sharice Williams Show. And I'll see you for our very next episode. Bye for now.